just the facts. You can only see a rainbow if the sun is behind you. Honey does not have an expiry date. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, and the alphabet song have the same tune. If 1 billion people in China and 1 billion people in India suddenly disappeared, China and India would still have the top 2 most populated countries in the world. There were fossilized dinosaurs before the dinosaurs even went extinct. It took humans more time to go from bronze swords to steel swords than from steel swords to nuclear bombs. The loudest sound in recorded history was the Krakatoa volcanic eruption of 1883. It ruptured eardrums of people from 40 miles away, and the sound was heard 10,000 miles away in New York. Chainsaws were invented to help in childbirth. The company Nintendo was founded in 1889. Sharks have been around for a greater length of time than the planet Saturn has had its rings. The ice cream company Häagen-Dazs has no meaning in any language. It was invented to sound Danish. There's more debt in the world than there is money. The Nazis planned to kill Winston Churchill with an exploding chocolate bar. If sound could travel through space, the sun would be so loud that it would be like standing next to a jet engine. The KFC Twitter account follows 6 men called Herb and the 5 members of the Spice Girls. It's a mix of 11 herbs and spices. In Olympic shooting, competitors are breath tested for alcohol, as it is considered a performance-enhancing substance. It slows the heart rate. If the characters in The Simpsons aged normally, then Bart would now be older than Marge was in season 1. The USA is an older country than Germany and Italy. Neptune was the first planet to get its existence predicted by calculations before it was actually seen by a telescope. The Russians showed up 12 days late to the 1908 Olympics in London. They were using the Julian calendar instead of the Gregorian calendar. Goats have rectangular pupils. An episode of Peppa Pig was pulled from Australian television for teaching children not to be afraid of spiders. Elvis Presley's manager sold "I Hate Elvis" badges. This was his unconventional way to make money off people who weren't buying his merchandise. The reason why the plural of goose is geese, but the plural of moose is moose, is because the word geese is derived from Latin, but moose is derived from Native American words, so it doesn't follow the same rules. The patent for the fire hydrant was destroyed in a fire. Twister was the first movie released on DVD in the United States of America. The Matrix was the first movie to have the DVD format outsell the VHS. If you type the word askew, ASKEW, into the Google search box, the entire page will tilt slightly. Over the course of her 63-year reign, Queen Victoria survived 8 assassination attempts. Blood donors in Sweden receive a thank you text when their blood is used. Citizens of the Soviet Union began celebrating the defeat of Germany in World War II as soon as it was announced. Less than 24 hours later, the entire country was out of vodka. The most popular Father's Day gift is a necktie. A contronym is a word that is its own opposite. For example, if you seed the lawn, you add seeds. But if you seed a tomato, you remove them. Venus spins the wrong way compared to the other planets. A giraffe and a human have the same number of bones in their necks. It's just with a giraffe, each bone is 10 centimeters long. The phrase "hands down" comes from horse racing. It refers to a jockey who is so far ahead that he can afford to drop his hands and loosen the reins, and still easily win. There are only 2 countries in the world that have "the" as part of their country's name. The Ghana Nutella was invented during World War II when an Italian pastry maker mixed hazelnuts into chocolate to extend his chocolate ration. The former Chinese dictator Mao Zedong proposed sending 10 million Chinese women to the United States in talks with top envoy Henry Kissinger in 1973. Quentin Tarantino played an Elvis impersonator on an episode of The Golden Girls. It was during World War II that clothes with elastic waists were introduced. This is because the metal used in zippers was badly needed for the war. In the movie Babe, the piglet was played by over 30 different piglets. They outgrew the part so quickly during the production of the film. The Hollywood sign was first erected in 1923. It was first erected as Hollywood Land. Cleopatra married 2 of her brothers. The 1912 Olympics was the last Olympics that gave out gold medals that were made entirely out of gold. The first domain name ever registered was symbolics.com. Actress Meryl Streep holds the record for the most Oscar-nominated actress, with a record of 17 nominations. All babies are colorblind when they are born. Walt Disney had originally suggested using the name Mortimer Mouse instead of Mickey Mouse. Three consecutive strikes in bowling is called a turkey. The first American astronaut in space was Alan B. Shepard, Jr. The galactic year, also known as a cosmic year, is the duration of time required for the Sun to orbit once around the center of the Milky Way galaxy. One galactic year is 230 million Earth years. In Albania, nodding your head means no, and shaking your head means yes. The city Kinshasa in the Democratic Republic of the Congo is the world's second largest